Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits. Today, checking out some Canadian craft beer. It's not too often that we get to drink Canadian beer, but once in a while we do. And this time we're checking out some beer from Wood Brothers Brewing in Ontario, Canada. And I got this one in Beer Dome, so thanks a ton to Beer Dome for the beer. This is a brewery that I think has been in Europe for quite a while. And it's mainly known for their haze, I think, at least here. Yeah, small brewery, small operation. People really like their stuff. And this is a can of their Luster Dust. It's 8% and it's a hazy double IPA. I wanted to just try one of the beers because a lot of people, especially also my boss, talked highly of them. So I was looking forward to try some. And I just got a single can because I've been swamped with some hazy stuff and a little bit sick of hazy stuff. So I just wanted to get one can. Somewhat fresh. This is about 3 months when we consume it. 4 months almost. 3 months and some days. But yeah, so it's not as fresh as I'd prefer. I usually think these beers are best. They peak at around 4 weeks. And then it's a slow downhill from there. Just in my experience. But let's see, this has been stored cold for the entire time. So, and I think it's also cold shipped to Europe. So let's try it. So pours my kind of color for a hazy. Very bright, very golden, not too orange. It looks like it's one of these bright hop bombs. It's got a white head and it's got a hop combo of Citra, Nelson Sauvin, and Rakau. Let's check out the aroma. Really juicy. Not all gushing juice. There is a little bit of a bright, pithy kind of citric thing, lime or something. But then it's like a lot of sweet juiciness as well underneath that. And there's definitely like orange. Also a little bit of that kind of gooseberry, passion fruity twang. Also floral. Some mango as well. It smells pretty good. It smells like this would have been really bright and banging when it was fresher, but it still smells nice. Because you can smell that some of the juice is starting to take over because the hops are fading a bit. Some of the esters. But it smells good. Let's try it. Cheers, and thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. Yeah, this when this is fresh, I'm pretty sure this is banging haze because that is a pretty good start. Because right now it's like definitely a juice bomb. Really pillowy, really slick. Decent amount of sweetness. There could be a little bit too much in the long run, but I'm guessing it would be okay when it was younger. I'm also swirling. I did roll the can and everything. I just want to see, like, sometimes getting some of the trub out into the beer will help balance things, I find, when they're a bit sweet. And it helps build saturation. This doesn't feel super saturated. This just feels like a juice bomb. So yeah, I usually actually kind of like when they have a bit of a bite and a bit of a green edge, these kind of beers, and they're not all dainty juice. You can just see that. What's coming out of the can now is like much more sludgy looking. Usually, like in the past, I hated doing it, but now I kind of like it. It's weird getting all the gunks in. Oh yeah, it looks much more saturated now. Much more brightness to it. Much more Nelson. Oh man, I'm sure this would have been a banging beer when this was 4 weeks old, when this just came to Europe. It's still drinking really well. There's a lot of like bright Nelson gooseberry kind of notes to it now. There's some. It's not like that like experience. This actually right now it drinks like a lot of European haze when it's around maybe 4 or 5 weeks or something like that, because there's still a lot of flavor. I think it might be due to, in general, Americans, I guess also Canadians, they use a lot more hops than Europeans. 5 to 8 pounds per barrel dry hops. Some even go crazier and go higher, which is too much. But at least in my experience in Denmark, a lot of people I've seen some where they're like 2.8 pounds per barrel. That's not going to last that long shelf-wise, and you're not going to get that like explosive thing with that amount of hops. It smells much nicer now and more like bright gooseberry kind of Nelson vibes. Rakau is a hop I really wanted to try and use myself, but I haven't gotten around to yet. It's one that I know they really like to use at fight-ins, and it's also Southern Hemisphere. And let's see here, NZ Hops have some info on it here. I guess that's a prime source, right? So it's a dual purpose hops. I'm getting a bit of stone fruit now, but also like a little bit of a more bright pineapple-y passion fruity thing. Definitely also Sauvignon Blanc grapes. Let's see. Apricot and fresh stone fruit is one of the dominant flavors. There's definitely stone fruit for sure, but there was before also swirling a bit and everything. But before it seemed more like yeast esters, like that juicy stone fruit. Now it's like a bit more almost underripe. Also with a little bit of the hop goodness in there, it seems less sweet. Like that slight bite from heavy saturation of hops mellows it out. And it's so weird because like in a West Coast IPA, you don't get that at all, but you get the bitterness. And modern West Coast IPAs, the bitterness is more restrained because cold whirlpools, all this. But maybe the reason why I like hazies to be like this is because I love West Coast. I want that bite from hops, either being saturation or bitterness, to really enjoy hazies. On general IPAs, it doesn't have to be like fucking a million IBUs. There just needs to be some to just like dry out so it doesn't become too much sweetness and everything. It's about the balance in the given beer. But this is really good. I think when this was fresh, I would be pretty stoked on it. And it really reminds me a lot of American, like, East Coast haze. Because it has like that really full body. It has that rich mouthfeel. And then it's got some nice pronounced hop flavors. But not to the same extent as some of the West Coast stuff where it's like really bright, pithy, dank stuff. Because there's definitely more juice to this. But I think it's just also freshness. But considering the age, I'm still going to score this a 90. This is surprisingly good at like almost 4 months. And I love the Nelson flavor on it. I would have probably scored it a little bit higher if it was fresher. Maybe like 93.4 range or something like that. But this is pretty good haze. This is definitely a brewery I need to try some beer fresher from in the future. But it's a brewery that's also really been over here on the regs in the last couple of year, something like that. So yeah, straight 90 in this instance, probably higher. I can imagine, just imagining this tasting more fresh and vibrant, maybe in the 93s or something like that. For Luster Dust by Wood Brothers Brewing Co. Dope stuff. Check it out if you can. They, every once in a while show up on Beer Dome and throughout Europe. So check them out. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up. Enjoy it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. Link for the shop is down below. And I'm going to say cheers and some dope Canadian beer. And see you guys in the beer review.